Now that's what you call horsepower, and I bet there's no monthly payment. I've got a few interesting ones today. $20,000 upside down on a Nissan, credit card debt, and bad TikTok financial advice. But we'll start this one off with the Walmart Worker SRT.
You inquired about the SRT, is that correct?
Oh, yeah?
You said you wanted to know how much we wanted down for it?
Yeah, like how much would you guys take down?
It's through the bank, bro, so we would need to submit the application to the bank. Have you ever pulled a loan before, or would this be your first loan?
No, I never pulled a loan before.
Gotcha, bro. Where do you work at?
Walmart?
You work at Walmart? How much do you make a month, would you say?
Probably say like almost $2,000.
2,000, bro?
Yeah.
Do you have a cosigner by chance or no?
I could get one, yeah.
Do they have credit?
Yeah.
Would it be like a parent or a family member? Or?
Be a family member, yeah.
Okay. I would recommend, bro, asking them if they're willing to cosign for you.
I just have to say there is nothing wrong working at Walmart. I think every job is important. I'm going to assume he's young, maybe in his early 20s. He's making just under $2,000 a month and he already wants to get into debt. Not something small, not something manageable. We're talking about a payment that's going to eat a huge chunk of his income every month. This is how people trap themselves early. One bad decision turns into years of stress, payments, and zero flexibility.
So that your down payment isn't anything crazy. Basically, if this is your first loan, we're able to get you approved for something in that like $20,000 range. But for this being your first loan and shooting for a $38,000 loan, it gets a little tough. They're going to ask you for a crazy amount down. Unless you had a big down payment. How much do you think you have down?
Like 10?
Okay, that's decent, bro. The only thing that's going to affect this here is your income. So I would really recommend getting a cosigner so that we can keep it at 10 or below.
All right, yeah, that works with me.
You have my number, so if you have any questions, just feel free to let me know, and then we'll see what we can do to get you in it, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, bro.
He's actually got a good sized down payment. But assuming he is in his early 20s, that is the best time to start investing. That money has time on its side. And time is the biggest advantage you will ever get with investing. You can always buy a nicer car later. You can't go back and redo your early 20s when it comes to investing. That is one thing I wish I understood when I was younger.
Looks like you're in a 24 Nissan Rogue, right? With 34,000 miles?
Yeah, I'm actually approaching on 35 now. I'm trying not to drive it too much, so I don't take it out of warranty before I try and make some type of move on this year. I don't know how much that's going to help.
Are you financing?
Yeah, so I'm financing the vehicle. It's actually financed through my mother. That's a vehicle she got about a year ago. She went to the dealership and she made the decision on herself, but I'm responsible for the vehicle. The vehicle pays about $835 a month.
$835 a month for a Nissan. That's over $10,000 a year just in car payments. That's money that could be paying off debt, building savings, or actually moving your life forward. Instead, it's locked into a depreciating asset that's worth less every single year. How that makes sense to anyone, I will never understand.
Which is ridiculous. And I believe it still owes about 36 or 37. I tried to get it appraised. The vehicle's not more than 18 to 19.
I wouldn't even pay that. So I have an all-wheel drive S. Car's worth like $15,000. What, you 20,000 upside down? Would you be willing to go up in payment?
What I want to do is just get out of that vehicle. The vehicle's just not worth it at all. So whatever I could do to get out of the vehicle that's going to get rid of all that negative equity in the shortest amount of time is what I'm okay with. At this point, there's no preference in vehicle that I need to get in.
These people always seem to think the solution to car debt is to buy another one. The reason they're negative on the loan is the solution they keep choosing to fix it. Rolling debt into a new loan doesn't fix anything. It just hides the problem and makes it bigger. It's just a different car. And somehow they're shocked when they're even further behind next time.
The negative equity alone is a substantial amount. To roll this into a new lease, like with the ZDX as an example, you'd be at about $950 a month with $6,000 out of pocket. Best case scenario with 10,000 miles a year if they're willing to do this deal. That might be like your cheapest option.
And what's the term on that?
6 months. How many miles per year do you need?
I would pay 12 just to be comfortable.
You'll be at $1047 a month with $6,600 at signing with all that negative equity. If they even approve it, which I don't know if they will. It's a lot of negative equity.
That's the only vehicle that's highly incentivized like that, no?
Yeah, it's just your negative equity alone is like a $600 payment.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous situation.
It is a ridiculous situation, and it's one the majority of people are choosing every day. He's $20,000 upside down. There's no trade that magically fixes that. There's no refinance that makes it disappear. And buying another car only makes it worse. At this point, the least bad option is to keep the car and pay it down. It's the only option that doesn't dig the hole deeper.
I have $25,000 in credit card debt to pay off by December of this year. Can I do it? I don't know, but I can tell y'all that we are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we're sick and tired of drowning in credit card debt. Did we use credit cards to get by and live? Yes. Was my husband off of work for almost a year because of an injury? Yes. Did I also take off of work for mental health issues for a few months? Yes.
This is why planning ahead matters. You have to plan for being off work. You have to plan for zero income. Because things happen, injuries happen, and health issues come up. If every dollar is already gone, one missed paycheck is all it takes. That's when everything falls apart.
Did I ever get any money from my mental health? Isn't a good reason. Mental health isn't important, so therefore I didn't get paid for taking my mental health leave. So it put me more into a downward spiral because I'm trying to get myself clear. I'm trying to fix my mind because mentally I'm on overload, because mental health is a huge issue, and they're supposed to be able to help you. You're supposed to be able to take these leaves from work if you need to, but mental health, they don't care about it. They don't care about you at all.
For a lot of people, being off work actually makes mental health worse. Not because work is amazing, but it gives you structure and routine. When routine is gone, days blur together. There's less structure, less momentum, and more time to worry. That's when money starts weighing heavier too, because now there's no paycheck coming in. It's not universal. Some people feel better when leaving the job. Others struggle more because job stress gets replaced with financial stress.
So for those reasons, I had to use credit cards, and that put us into more debt. And now here we are trying to get out and be debt free. I have paid off 6-7 credit cards since December of 2024 to a zero freaking balance. And I got about 7 left, 6 or 7 left. I really got to get my numbers together because I had to take out an extra credit card that I said I wasn't going to do to buy my daughter's bedroom furniture, which I did not really need, but also I did because we were doing a basement bedroom remodel because her bedroom flooded, and it's a whole thing. But anywho, that's besides the point.
She's clearly frustrated about the debt, but at the same time, she's still taking on more to pay for things. And that's where it doesn't add up. You can't be upset about the situation while making it bigger at the same time. She's trying to talk herself into it making sense, but it doesn't.
I maxed out my husband's $10,000 credit card. My husband gave me one of his credit cards a few months back. He told me that the card was for emergencies, that the card had a $250 limit and to not go crazy. So I used it here and there for gas, some emergency groceries to get us between payday, and very recently I used it to buy some of the things my daughter needed for her spirit week. Well, when I got home, I mentioned to my husband that I may have gone a little feral when I was getting things for our daughter's spirit week and spent over the limit to get our daughter her clothes. He asked me how much I had spent, and I told him I spent about $150, but that I had also used it for gas earlier in the week. And because I don't know when the payment is due, I don't know if the balance had been reset yet.
Credit cards aren't extra money. They don't increase your income. They just let you borrow from the future and pretend today is covered. The problem is, bills don't stop next month. Rent still shows up, groceries still cost money, and the car payment is still there. So now you're using the card again and again. And suddenly the card isn't a tool anymore. It's part of your monthly survival.
He laughed and told me that I was good because the limit was actually $10,000. I won't lie, I was pissed that he lied to me about the limit. All this time he had me stressing when I was using that card and putting off getting things that we actually needed. So the next day I went out and got everything that we needed. I restocked the pantry, got our daughter some actual trendy clothes. I got myself a new pair of shoes, and because it was on sale, I got myself a book. Well, after all of that excitement wore off, I started adding up all of the receipts, and I realized that I spent about $9,000. And now I'm freaking out because my husband is going to flip, and I don't blame him. I just need advice on how to approach him. What do I do?
There is no way she needed to spend $9,000. That doesn't sound like buying necessities to me. It sounds emotional. It sounds more like spending out of frustration than buying things the family actually needed. When people feel stuck, they spend because it feels like control. But the balance is still there, the interest is still there. And now the situation is worse than it was before.
So you maxed out all of your credit cards and you're having trouble paying them down. Here's the solution for you. You want to become an authorized user on someone's card. This someone has to be somebody that is responsible, whether it be a family member or a friend. They must be responsible, and here's why. Anything that this person does will affect you. So if they have late payments, that is going to affect you. But it's not the other way around. If you have late payments, it will not affect the authorized user. Here's how it helps with your utilization. If grandpa has a $20,000 credit card that's been open for 10 years and you only have a $1,000 credit limit, that $20,000 now reports to your credit. So now it looks like you have $21,000 worth of credit limits, which then starts to lower your utilization. So to sum it all up, if your credit cards are maxed out, this might be a good option for you.
There is so much wrong with this. Somebody who is responsible is not going to add someone with maxed out credit cards, because that would be irresponsible. Not only that, but this doesn't help you pay down your debt at all. Not a bit. It would only change your utilization, which I'm guessing is to get more credit so you can get deeper into debt.
I never once paid a dime of my student loans, and I am more than fine. This country tries to control us with fear and fear of debt. Treat it like it doesn't exist. I'm telling you right now, do not pay. What can they do? Okay, so after you graduate from your university, like 6 months to a year later, you start getting all the bills from Sally Mae and you got to get on a payment plan. Do not pay. What can they do? You're going to get letters in the mail, right? And then you're going to start getting phone calls, block them, one more person to block, just hang up. These bills that come in the mail, it's just paper. It's just paper. I promise you, do not pay. I'm going to tell you why.
TikTok financial advice at its finest right here. Just don't pay it. Basically be a thief. I'm sure some people get away with it, but there's always a chance you don't. Lawsuits, court judgments, wage garnishment. That's not advice. That's just hoping nothing bad happens.
Because I know a lot of you are like, well, then I'm going to have bad credit. Credit for what? Credit for what? For that $1.8 million house you're about to buy? Let's get real. Let's get real, okay? The amount of little bit of hard times that your credit will give you is not worth the 15 to 20 hours a week extra you are going to have to work to pay off the student debt. It is not worth your life. Do not pay.
Who cares about credit, right? That sounds great when you're saying it online. It sounds a lot different when you actually need an apartment, a car, or a job that runs your credit. Credit doesn't matter until it does. And when it does, it's usually at the worst possible time. Saying credit doesn't matter is easy advice to give, but in real life, it's still something we have to deal with. If you want to see more, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.